Hello everyone, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review. Today we're looking at the Umarex T4E TR50 .50 or 50 caliber paintball pistol, and this is the tabletop review. Haven't shot this gun yet. Hope to do that in the near future for you guys. Now this gun is available in both our Canada and US online Replica Airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca for Canada and replicaairguns.us for the US. I'll put links in the description of this video for you guys. So if you're interested in buying one, you can do that. All right, let's get into the specifications. Again, this is a .50 caliber paintball pistol. It also shoots 50 caliber rubber balls. It uses standard 12 gram CO2 cartridges. It is a revolver with a removable magazine system. It is a metal and polymer design, mostly plastic or polymer. It does have a metal barrel and some internal metal parts, of course. It does come with a total of 5 magazines that hold 6 rounds each. The T4E TR50 weighs in at 1.6 pounds or 726 grams. The total length is 10.25 inches and the barrel length is 4.25 inches. This revolver shoots in double action only. As you can see, there's no exposed hammer. The T4E TR50 has a claimed FPS of up to 360. It does have a quick CO2 pierce system, so you can put a brand new CO2 in there and pierce it just by giving the knob on the end here a whack, and that pierces the CO2, making it ready to go. You're going to find fixed front and back sights that are blacked out, so there's no white dots on either of them. That said, you do get 2 Picatinny rails, top and bottom, so you have lots of multiple accessory attachments you can put on there. You could put a tack light, a laser, you could put some sort of optical sight on the top if you want, and then you could adjust it as needed. The only safety you're going to find on this gun is a trigger safety right there. And as a little bit of a note, there is a UK version or overseas version called the HDR. So it's the T4E HDR, and HDR stands for Home Defense Revolver. And that version comes in a 7.5 joule version and an 11 joule version. I think that just is dependent on where they distribute it. In Europe, there are joule or foot-pound limitations in certain countries there. Now, elaborating a little bit more on the fact that there's this HDR version versus the T4E TR50. The TR50 stands for training instead of home defense revolver, because here in Canada, we're not allowed to defend ourselves with any type of a weapon. So the companies aren't going to market these products as home defense weapons. It just isn't really going to be advantageous for them. Now the Umarex T4E TR50 isn't really a replica, but it looks a lot like the Umarex Broadex CO2 BB revolver. I have reviewed that pistol, so check that review out. If you put them side by side, and I don't have one here, but I'll put a picture up on the screen. If you put them side by side, they look a lot alike. There are some differences. Of course, the cylinder here is on the back. On the Broadex, there is no trigger safety on the Broadex. You also don't have the quick CO2 piercing system. You will find a hammer on the Broadex as well. Now this pistol is distributed by Umarex, but it's manufactured by T4E, which stands for Training for Engagement. So what do you get with the gun? Well, it does come in a nice cardboard box. Okay, so let's take a quick look and you'll see here, Training for Engagement. In the UK, it is marketed as Home Defense Revolver inside as well. So here it would actually say Home Defense Revolver. We can't do that here, again, for the reasons I discussed. Okay, so you got here 50 cal, 6 rounds CO2 powered. There's a few specifications on the box here. Okay, velocity 360, ammo, multiple munitions, paintball, right? You can use rubber ball or paintball with this gun. Quick pierce CO2 system, 5 magazines included. Inside the box, you do get a manual, of course, with some basic information on it. Right? Shows you how to load it, the different components and parts, the trigger system, piercing, how to use that quick release or quick CO2 pierce system, how to load the cylinders, of course, aiming, all that stuff. I'm not sure what that is. Troubleshooting, just in case, warranty information. Okay, and in the back, I believe, or somewhere along here, you will get some more specifications. I did see them in here at one point, so I'm not sure where they are. Where are they? Ah, there they are, right on the very back. So there's some more specifications for you. Okay, pretty much everything I've already discussed. Here is the cylinder kit that you get. Okay, so you see you've got 4 of them and 1 in the gun, so that's a total of 5. And there's your CO2 screw, right, to help you tighten it. You can sort of hand tighten it, but you need probably the CO2 screw to tighten it all the way at the end and to remove it when you're done. At this point, I'm gonna do a bit of a walk around, show you the gun up nice and close so you can get an idea what it looks like. So here you have the T4E branding, the TR50 right there in the frame of the gun barrel area. It's kind of the frame and barrel area. This is your magazine release. I might as well show you that right now. So you just pop it over there. Your magazine comes out. You do load the rounds from the front, right? You've got this little area here that rotates the magazine. Okay, just quickly want to show you that I don't have any 50 cal. I don't have any 50 cal, but that's a .68 cal, and then that's a 43 cal. So I need to get some 50 cal rounds before I can test this gun, but it's kind of right in the middle, closer to 43, I'd say. Right, when you're putting it back in, you just line it up there, and then release that all the way, and you're good to go. And I don't know if you can see it, but it is rotating when I pull the trigger. It's a double action only trigger. All of this is just molded into the gun here. Right, there's your trigger safety, okay. The gun feels pretty good in general. You do have this sort of venting here. You've got a fixed front sight. You've got the Picatinny rail on the top, fixed rear sights, Picatinny rail on the bottom. There's your barrel opening, obviously, right? It's not recessed, it doesn't need to be because that's the size of the barrel, it's 50 cal. There's your CO2 piercing, right? You've got your Allen key that goes in there when you're tightening and loosening it. This whole guy comes out. I'm not going to pierce one for you, but you'd put your CO2 in there, right? Actually, the other way around, sorry, my mistake, because you're going to pierce it with that bottom, so you have to put it in upside down. Okay, otherwise it will not pierce. Do not make that mistake. Tighten that up. Allen key tight when you're done. Give it a whack. This little guy here will pop out. That'll pop out indicating there's pressure in the gun. If it doesn't pop out, then you haven't hit it hard enough, or the CO2 is not working properly for some reason. Maybe put it in backwards like I tried to do there. Okay, so you do have some branding on the grips there, T4E. Let's take a look at the other side here. Okay, serial number, Umarex warning, instructions or destructions, more branding. Okay, again, no hammer. It's all internal, double action only. Okay, you do have some, basically the screws that hold it all together. It's basically a 2-piece design slapped together. It's very solid. There's nothing really to go wrong with this gun. I mean, basically, once it's loaded, once you got ammo in the cylinder, 6 rounds, you got CO2 in there, you give it a whack and you start shooting. It's that simple. So there's really nothing to go wrong. No other safeties to worry about that you may have engaged them, so you start to shoot and it's not shooting for some reason. I guess because it was designed as a home defense revolver initially, it's designed to be bulletproof, pardon the pun. So it's designed to like be idiot proof, I guess. Give it a whack and pull the trigger and you're shooting, okay? And that's a good thing for a home defense revolver. This one in Canada and the US is kind of built more for paintball fields. It is a high velocity at 360 FPS. Some people have actually shown how to modify the cylinder. You shave it down a little bit in the front, which allows a little bit of CO2 to leak out, bringing basically bringing it down a little bit in power so that it's not quite so lethal, because a 50 cal hitting 360 FPS, it's going to hurt a lot. So getting it down to about 300 would be better for the paintball field. For home defense, which you're not allowed to do, 350 is great, right? You're going to get a little bit higher output, a little bit more power, a little more joules or foot-pounds of energy downrange. Okay, let's talk pros and cons here. I haven't shot the gun, so I can't really give you any of my results in terms of accuracy and power. We will do that once I get some 50 cal paintball. I'm probably going to put rubber ball on it so I don't make a mess of my C-can, but that's the plan. So for now, the pros and cons are going to be specifically on what I already kind of know about the gun. That said, it is expected to get pretty close to 360 with a brand new CO2, and with a 50 caliber paintball or rubber ball, that may be a bit too high for the average paintball field, but perhaps powerful enough to discourage an intruder if someone were to use this on an intruder, and I don't advise it, but if someone were. Now there's lots of mounting options for accessories like a tack light, a laser, or other sighting options with its upper and lower Picatinny rail setup. It does have that working trigger safety. That is the only one, so it's good it has that at least. It does come with a total of 5 magazines that you can preload, making it ready for use whenever you are. And again, it's super non-complicated in design. Once loaded with CO2 and paintballs, all you need to do is hit that CO2 knob and then pull the trigger. Pretty much bulletproof or idiot-proof. Now, even though it's all plastic or polymer, the build quality feels good. The gun is fairly beefy, but not overly heavy or hard to hold. So a good balance in general. All right, a few cons. This is mostly an all plastic build gun, and not everybody likes that, but for the intents and purpose of this gun, there's really nothing wrong with it. You don't need metal in a paintball gun. There aren't enough high pressures, and the barrel is metal, so that's all you really need it there for. And again, some of the internal parts that will have a little bit more wear and tear on them. Now, the sights are non-adjustable, and they don't have any white dots front or back. Now, this being potentially a home defense revolver, I think in low light situations, which could be a situation you would encounter, having the all black sights will make it a little harder to aim, but maybe you're not really aiming at that point. Maybe you're just pointing and shooting, which is pretty typical of a high intensity situation. And even though I haven't really tested it out yet, I don't expect to get a lot of shots per CO2 because it is pumping a lot through there to get those 50 cal balls moving up to 360 FPS. I would expect somewhere between 3 to 5 6-round magazines. When I do my test, I am actually going to test that out to see how many actual cylinders or 6-round magazines I get with the Umarex T4E TR50. All right, again, this very interesting 50 caliber paintball pistol is available in our Canada and US online replica airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca and replicaairguns.us. So again, check the links in the description if you're interested in buying this gun or any other products like air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, blank guns, pellet guns, and other accessories. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe before you head out. Also, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.